Hello, this is Dr. Ted D'Amico. This video is the third of three videos that deals explicitly with the Consumer Insights and Charting program. In this video, we will review the two Excel files that are generated by the program and the tables contained in each file. Because of the video's length, it will be divided into two parts. The Consumer Insights and Charting program provides two hyperlinked Excel files. Each of these two files is comprised of multiple tables, and each has a table of contents for the quick access of information. The top measures file, the smaller of the two files, contains the top number of measures for each table type in the file. The number of measures shown for each table is based on the client's preference. For example, the client can request that each table in the top measures file contain the top 50 measures, the top 100 measures, or any other number of measures that the client wishes to choose. The All Measures file, as the name implies, contains all the measures for each table type in the analysis. Each table in this file can contain up to 4,500 measures. The measures, however, are presented in the same order. That is, they are not sorted on the basis of any column header within a given table. Following are examples of each of the two Excel files, each of which can be purchased separately. Let's first take a look at the top measures file. The first worksheet in this file is the table of contents, which lists all of the tables contained in the top measures file. Each listed table is hyperlinked to the worksheet that contains the table. Additionally, at the top of each table is another hyperlink, which when clicked returns you to the table of contents. The first series of tables in the All Measures file lists the top number of measures by brand for 10 media metrics. Let's take a look at the first table, which lists the top measures by brand in terms of sample size. Although it cannot be seen in this table, the top sample size measures are shown for every brand in the analysis. Additionally, the table not only shows the top sample size measures by brand, the table also shows three metrics for the total sample, including sample size, projected audience, and composition or vertical percent. The table also shows 9 metrics for the target brand, including sample size, projected audience, composition or vertical percent, coverage/incidence index, target association coefficient, composition index rank, and coverage index rank. For each target brand metric shown in this table, there is a corresponding table just like this one, plus one additional one which shows you the top overall predictors of brand usage independent of whether it is positively or negatively correlated with brand usage. For example, there is a table which shows the top audience measures by brand, a table that shows you the top composition measures by brand, a table that shows you the top coverage incidence measures by brand, and 6 additional tables for the other media metrics I just mentioned. Now let's look at an example of a brand differentiation table. In this table, the target brand, which in this case is brand number 7, is compared to a single competing brand, which in this case is brand number 1. In total, the Consumer Insights and Charting program can generate up to 23 brand differentiation tables, which is the maximum number of competing brands allowed in a single analysis. To provide you with a better understanding of what is contained in a brand differentiation table, let's look at the first measure in the table, which is the best predictor of whether people use the target brand or the competing brand. The first column tells you that the first measure is contained in table 64. The second column tells you the name of the table, which in this case is traveled past 3 years. The next column tells you that the specific measure that is being analyzed in table 64 is Germany. The next two columns provide the total sample counts for the target and competing brands respectively. The next two columns tell you the percentage of target users and the percentage of competing brand users who traveled to Germany in the past 3 years. The next two columns tell you the percentage point difference and the percentage difference between target and competing brand users with respect to traveling to Germany in the past 3 years. The last two columns are the most important measures or columns in the table. The next to last column, labeled discrimination coefficient, tells you how well traveling to Germany in the past 3 years predicts whether people use the target brand or the competing brand. The last column, labeled variance explained, tells you the amount of variance explained by the measure and is derived by squaring the discrimination coefficient. Now let's look at a brand strength table. This table is identical to a brand differentiation table, except that the table is not sorted on the overall ability of each measure to predict whether the target or competing brand is used. Rather, it is sorted in descending order based on the percentage point difference in composition between the target and competing brands with respect to each measure. As was the case for a brand differentiation table, the Consumer Insights program can generate up to 23 strength tables and 23 weakness tables, and in each table the target brand is compared to a single competing brand. A brand weakness table is identical to a brand strength table, except that the table is sorted in ascending order based on the percentage point difference in composition between the target and competing brands with respect to each measure. The next and last video, labeled Video 18B, will focus on the second Excel file generated by the Consumer Insights and Charting program.